What's good, my boys? Splashy here, and today's video will be a tier list about centers. We might as well just get straight into it. A couple of people you saw on the power forward list will also be on the center list, and if they were good on the power forward list, they'll most likely be good on the center list. You see it, I don't do S, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have the top tier as training wheels, therefore it's easy to use them. It takes probably no skill to use them at all, besides maybe one thing. Good, as in they're just a good center. Might be a double big who excels at the power forward position, so if you put him at center, he's also good. Skill gap, as in to run this guy at center, it's gonna take some stick. It's gonna take a bit of stick, a lot of skill. Budget serviceable, you know what that means, and bad. So let's get straight into it. First, we have Andre Bargnani. Andre Bargnani is the first center that goes into bad. Outside of the 95, 3, and the 10 Hall of Fame shooting badges, he excels at nothing. He excels at nothing. This is a wasted trophy case, probably the worst trophy case, if not tied with Tim Hardaway Jr. Next, we have AD. AD goes in skill gap, and the reasoning being because he should be playing at the power forward position. If for some reason you are playing him at center, then one, you have to box out every play. You might have to give him more rebounding badges, such as box out beast, rebound chaser, and a little bit more defensive badges. You also have to really rely on popping and actual rolls, throwing lobs, hitting them on the run, rather than just going to paint, close your eyes, and press square, because he can barely mash a point guard. So I will put him in the skill gap for the center position, because it's a lot harder to run AD at center, especially going versus Kareem and KP nowadays. Next, we have Sabonis. Sabonis will also go in the skill gap, just because prior to Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I mean, him and Big Z were running stuff. Even with the 40 speed, they were raining hell on everybody. With the 40 speed, with the 50 speed, with the 20 speed, with the 30 speed, they were putting everybody to bed. So, I love it. Next, we got Ben Wallace. I'm going to put Ben Wallace in bad. The reasoning being because he is an inside center. One, most inside centers will automatically go in the skill gap. And on top of him being an inside center, he's only 6'9". It just almost doesn't work out at the center position. He doesn't give you exactly what is needed. Then you come over to somebody like DeAndre Jordan, who I'll put in budget serviceable, whose wingspan is better, player build is better, can mash better, plays almost the exact same defense while also rebounding a lot better. So, this game is ran by player build, and it's really hard to run a center who looks 6'6". nowadays. Next, we got Al Horford. Al Horford will go in good. I have no problem with Al Horford. I do think he should be playing the power forward position, but comes with half anchor, comes with goal limitless, only missing a select few of badges. Good stats, just could be faster. I have no problem with him at all. Next, we have Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning, amazing double big. Same thing as Al Horford, but just a slower shot, less three-pointer, more half badges. Alonzo Mourning can play the center position, just would take a lot. But you also wouldn't run him over somebody like D12, etc. Bob McAdoo goes in budget serviceable. For some reason, his 53 shoots like it's a 75. A lot of people put him in for a limited. A lot of people put him in when he came out. Easy jump shot to shoot. Amazing. There is no problem with him at all. Next, we have Bobo. Bobo will go in good. Reasoning being because he was KP before KP was KP. He has good defensive stats. His badges just aren't that good. That's all it is. His badges just aren't that good. When he gets another card, though, he will be amazing. One sec, my dog is just trying to make noise. But other than that, when Bobo gets a diamond or a pink diamond, he's gonna probably be the starting power forward. He's already shown how good he is when people use him in limited. People were starting him at center when he first came out. Great job. As always remember this, as long as a center has that KP shot, they'll always be usable with the way you guys hit him every play. Next, we have Bosh. Bosh is also good. Bosh isn't a bad center. I do think he could be a little bit stronger, and he probably will get annihilated nowadays if used, but he is a serviceable center. I just think he's a lot better at power forward. He's a good center, though. Him and Bobo are both good centers. Next, we got Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo is the next person who goes in bad. Outside of him having max block and max interior, he is an inside center with 45 speed. That defeats the whole purpose of you being an inside. If you're going to be an inside center, you need to have almost max rebounding. You need to almost have at least 80 speed, because you need to make up for the fact that you can't shoot at all. So him having a 25 or whatever, you have to make up for that, and he doesn't make up for that while being a 45, having 45 speed and just doing this and doing that. Next on the list, we do have D12. D12 also goes into good. D12 is not a bad center at all. The difference between him and Anthony Davis is he gets better animations in the paint. He can finish at a higher level.
They look different online. Jeez.
Ooh, anyways, but he performs a lot better on the run. He has 100 standing dunk tendency, so if he's under the rim, it's almost a guaranteed dunk. He gets better snag animations, can also shoot from goal limitless. He comes with goal limitless base, and he also is primary center, and people who are usually primary center are usually better at the center position than they are the power forward position. So I like D12. I don't think it takes a crazy amount of skill to use him at the center position compared to Anthony Davis. Next, we have Elton Brand. Elton Brand just goes into serviceable. I think if you run double bigs, he's not that bad. He just has like a regular 68-3, good rebounding, good strength, half bully, etc. He's nothing outrageous. I just think he's like the budget. Like he's a budget big man basically, but a pink diamond. Next, we have Fernando. Fernando will also go into good. His player build is really small. Like, actually, I'm gonna put him in serviceable.
What do you mean the connecting rooms were not confirmed?
What's going on though? Like, what's going on? But he will also go into serviceable, and the reason I'll put him in serviceable, but Mikhail probably won't go into serviceable, is because Fernando in game looks like 6'4". Like, he looks like a 6'5" center, and then Mikhail in game, his arms automatically make him look 8'5". So I'm just gonna probably separate those two just because of that. Mikhail, even though I do think he is the trophy case version of Mikhail, it's just his player build is really small in game. I have already actually tested both of them at center, and Mikhail excelled and Fernando didn't. So yeah. Next, you got Giannis. Giannis will be the first person we have in training wheels. All of the Giannis's will be put in training wheels. And okay, so the reason the Giannis's that can play the center position will be put in training wheels because, as stated in my Power 4 video, it takes no skill to use Giannis at any position. The only skill it takes is to shoot jump shots with him. And honestly, this is the easiest shooting game in 2K history. So, I mean, are you really missing with Giannis or Kareem or anybody with a 60 to 65 3, 60 to 73? No, because y'all was shooting with Giannis, not missing. Y'all put in Bob McAdoo, not missing, etc. Like, Giannis at the center position can guard pick and roll with the best of them. He's the only non-double big man. Well, he's a hybrid, but he's technically a double big. He's the only actual non-double big besides his diamond and Amy, whose positions change, who can stop Kareem step for step, get you a bear stop. Nobody misses with his jump shot. He has some of the best finishing animations on the game. He gets some of the best blow-bys on other big men. It's crazy. It's crazy how good he is. I call the diamond Giannis like the budget Kareem, but with Jordan dribble style and normal fade. Next, we got Hakeem. Hakeem is also good. I have no problem with Hakeem. 93 ball. My only problem with it is he doesn't have poster, doesn't have limitless takeoff, and doesn't have clamp breaker. Playmaking badges are pretty subpar. Other than that, though, you know, as long as guys have a 93 for you guys, that's all you need to see. His jump shot is also not the best, but it is good enough to time. Next, we have Jared Allen. So Jared Allen goes in budget serviceable. His only flaw is the fact he has 25 pass act. He throws literally hot air balloon passes, and it gets very annoying if you like watch it and you know what you're doing. So that's that. Next, we got Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal goes in good. Jermaine O'Neal, Mikhail, and like Alonzo Mourning are usually tied. Like, it's not power forward where you got to know how to shoot with him for him to play center. He don't even got to shoot with him. He's completely fine. He was running stuff earlier this year. So that's that. Next, we got KG. KG also goes into good, reasoning being because KG is the non-trophy case version of Alonzo and Kevin McHale. So wherever those two will be is where Kevin Garnett will be. Next, we have Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis goes into the top tier of training wheels. You guys beg for Porzingis to come out every single year just because, one, the game's on rookie, two, so you guys can hit him on the pop every single play. I know you guys have ran into somebody in Unlimited who is just only hitting Porzingis. You are not even off-balling them. You're not even dropping off of them. But somehow Kristaps Porzingis is getting hit every play. Porzingis is the only center on the game who somehow ends the game with more shot attempts than every other person on your opponent's team. He ends with like 12 shots, 9 of them being threes. They don't even be open, but some of them go in. Like, Porzingis is what everybody loves, what everybody needs. He has a big flaw in not having anchor, and if any of these other cards I've put as high as I have, didn't have anchor, they probably wouldn't get ran. But Porzingis is just fine without it because he's allowed to shoot in people's faces from half court. So that's that. Next, we got LaMarcus Aldridge. He goes in budget serviceable. I don't think he's the best center. I do think he's more of a power forward because of how, like, babyish he is. But, you know, to each its own. Next, we have Magic Johnson. Okay, I didn't even click that. But we also have Magic Johnson. He also goes into budget / serviceable. Not a bad center, but I just don't think he should be there. But he is a good, reliable option if you can't afford some of the better people. But I would more stray you towards to getting Jared Allen than anybody else. Miles Turner also goes in budget serviceable. Can get blocks and pay. Another person who's not on this list who you guys can think about using is Brandon Clark, the gold card. Really cheap, easy. 90 driving dunk, 90 block, 93. Like, that's amazing at the center position right now. Miles Turner. Mo Bamba also goes in budget serviceable. These are just good centers if you can't afford the top dogs. Next, we have Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing will be my next player in skill gap. I think almost all the opals on the game are usable except maybe Chris Paul. I don't have him yet. I still need one more card and one more trophy case card for me to obtain him, but I know as far as, you know, I can throw him. He has excelled for me in quals. He excelled for me in 2 tournaments that I ended up winning since I got him and started him at center. As long as you can shoot with his shot, he's a threat. And then I know somebody would say, like, why would you use him over God knows who? The difference between him and maybe a Kareem is one, you have to go do it yourself. You know, he's not just going to skip and jump through the air, but you can also give him limitless, so he's more of a threat. If you have a low 3 and you can give somebody limitless, it's a lot different because then just in case they stand too far, you can still get it up. So, like, if you've ever watched me, you'll see me shoot from half court with Patrick Ewing sometimes. Hey, bucket. It's the game. It's on rookie. My editor forgot Kareem. He ended up telling me this, what in the middle of me making this list. So, if you want to know what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is at the tippity top of training wheels, and the reason it being because he is the only person who gets the defensive animations he does. 1, 2, he has a 63 and shoots like it's a 95. And if you are not that good at manual rebounding, if you don't know what manual rebounding it is, say I shoot a shot off the pick and roll at the top of the key, I switch to my center knowing I'm going to miss and I'm going to go get my own rebound. Kareem somehow worms 3 people. He goes to get the own rebound. He is the best masher on the game with Wilt Chamberlain and Merson and the rest of the big giants being second. For Wilt Chamberlain will go in skill gap though because he isn't a specific inside center, and even though he has 90 speed or 85 speed, he's not as much of a threat as Kareem is on the court. So Kareem would be in training wheels and Wilt Chamberlain would be in skill gap. Next we have Jokic. Jokic is a bad card. Like, if you're post fading and stuff and you're a Jokic fan, hey, to each its own. He just isn't good. Defensively, he's not good. Badge-wise, I mean, he can get some badges, but he just doesn't excel. Vucevic goes in budget serviceable. All of the glitch cards usually will go into the same tier. Like, they're all decent enough to play the center position. I don't think that they're better than the big dogs, but if you know what you're doing, you can go out there and put up a fight. Next, we have Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan will go at the tippy top of good. Tim Duncan is probably one of the only power forward primaries who can start at center and bang with Kareem and KP. He has no problem with KP at all. Go look at my gameplay if you want to see what I'd be doing to KP. But Tim Duncan and Kareem be boxing. He's the only person I see getting the same defensive animations that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar does while being 55 inches shorter than him because, you know, Kareem's 9'5" in game and Tim Duncan's 7'5" in game. So that's that. He can also shoot from deep. He obviously can't put the ball on the ground, but he can finish on the run and a bunch of other stuff. Next, we got Big Z. Big Z goes in skill gap as well because him and Sabonis, while being 7'8" and having 40 speed, you have to do a little bit more. Big Z is KP with 30 less speed, honestly. That's literally what it is. Big Z is KP with 30 less speed. He has a good shot. You can give him limitless. He can also shoot from deep. Just KP's better than him, and it's not close. Last, we have Rudy Gobert, and I'm just going to put him in bad because I don't like Rudy Gobert. No explanation needed. Lastly, in the new edition, we have Shaq. Shaq will go into the skill gap rank for centers, in which it is already hard enough. Wilt will go in the same thing. It is already hard enough to get a stop as a whole. So putting the inside center in, he's obviously the most dominant force on the game. He gets the most rebounds, but he can't shoot. Everybody can't create their offense with a player that can't shoot, as where Kareem would go in training wheels because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a 63, but it shoots like it's an 85. Shaq can't shoot at all, so people are going to leave him open. Or if you're not that good with dribbling or getting open off of a screen with a center, he won't be as good for you as other cards. But I think in the right person's hands, like if you see me use Shaq or a few other people who are really good with Tim Thomas, he elevates your game to a crazy level with the amount of offensive rebounds and second chances he gives you. My bad, I'm dying. On top of the fact that he can score on everybody in the paint. I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list and you will use this as your referral. Sorry that Kareem and Wilt aren't on the list, but I still gave you a good explanation for where those two would go. Make sure you leave me a comment with any questions so we can have friendly banter or talk about something or do whatever you guys would want to do. I love every single one of y'all though. Make sure y'all have a blessed day. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Stop by the Twitch, Splashy, and tell me what it is, what it do, what it is, what it ain't. And then stop by the Twitter, Splash Edition. I'm telling you, I've been nothing but comedy on the TL lately, so make sure y'all check in, follow me, DM me with any questions or comment under one of my posts. I love every single one of y'all. Make sure I have a blessed day. I'm out. Peace.